When I see a plant reach its full potential, that is such a beautiful thing. And I don't know, maybe that's what I think all of us deep down are secretly, or maybe not so secretly, trying to do. We're trying to become the best versions of ourselves in this world. So I love working with plant parents who are just starting out on this journey the most. And the reason I like working with new plant parents the most is because, I don't know, sometimes when I don't know what I don't know, I don't know. And I'm just sort of like, all right, well, teach me, let's learn. I'm very open, like, show me. Then I start to learn a few things. And then you're like, well, then I get reminders, and it's like, well, wait, no, I already know that. I know this. And then I learn a little bit more, and then I'm like, wait, now hold on. I'm gonna correct you. It's actually not this, it's this, And then it's like, well, I always have to sort of fight that natural inclination to all of a sudden feel like or pretend like I'm a know-it-all, because I'm not. And with plant care, I mean, there are professions, hobbies, industries where you can be a legitimate know-it-all. You can know all there is to know. I mean, this is what, as PhDs, like, you are trained to know all there is to know in this one little teeny tiny area of the world, right? You are the world expert. You are the person to go to on this particular topic. It's called diving deep into a topic, and PhDs are really, really good at it, and I learned how to do that, and I'm so thankful for that. One of the things that I love about plant care is that, I mean, I can dive really, really deep and know all there is to know maybe about this one little species or the way this one little species grows. But to know all there is to know about all the plants in the world and all the different habitats they come, I mean, it's just not possible to know it all. And so that's why I try not to call myself an expert too often, right? Because I think of myself more as a houseplant hobbyist, as an amateur in the truest sense of the word, that I do what I do for a love of what I do. I'm always trying to learn more. I want to know more. I'm insatiably curious. And there are so many plants, there's always something new to learn. Even when you think you know all the different things about a certain plant and how it grows, it can surprise you. And it happens all the time to me anyway. Being a part of somebody's very start of that lifelong journey is such an honor, such a privilege for me. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love learning from other plant care experts, from other people who know a lot of information really deeply about one particular plant or set of plants or type of plants or an ecosystem from which that particular plant comes from. I love, 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 and deeply respect that knowledge, and I'm so grateful for it. I love the vast range of different topics, and I love walking with people who are just starting to dip their toes into this big, giant, wonderful, beautiful, magical world of plants. I just can't think of right now a more wonderful privilege, a more beautiful and joyful activity for me to do than to accompany folks in that spot. And it just gets me really excited to think about. So, all right, that's Plants have not yet been able to pay my bills. And I'm just gonna throw that out there for anybody who is looking to be a creator, a content creator full-time. This occupies an incredible amount of my time and my energy and my resources. I'm really glad and thankful that the plant care is something that I enjoy because it occupies my time and my energy, and so that's a really good way to spend those things and even my resources. But that being said, one of the things that I learned after a few years now of creating content on social media and doing a pretty decent job at it, I think, was that I needed to find ways to make this a little bit more financially stable. And so the last year or so, that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying my best to find a way to make this passion for plant care that I have and that I've been so lucky to be able to share with so many people, something that I can financially sustain, right? Because if I'm putting all of my time and my energy and my joy and my resources into this hobby, this passion, that's great. And it's great that I can share it, but it means that that time, energy, and resources aren't being put into things that might bring in a paycheck or pay the bills or help me save for retirement or those sorts of things. And so I've been trying to find ways to make this project sort of do a better job of pay for itself. In the last year or so, I've been doing so many things. It's like, and it's like too much. It really is too much. The thing that I'm most excited about is I've launched a Pistils and Pollen mobile app. It's really kind of cool because this community that I have been building on Instagram and TikTok and now YouTube is something that I'm trying to shift over or create a space for that's sort of platform agnostic inside the app. So we've got a community there. You can download the app, and when you download, you automatically get invited into the community. You can log in, you can join the conversation. There we've got a Q&A circle or chat channel where folks can write in and post their questions about plant care. And I'm on there all the time. Other people in the community are on there, and we're always trading tips and posting pictures of our plants and just sort of doing kind of what we do on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, YouTube, or wherever it is that you post and share your passion for plants. I created this space for us to do it together. And also on that app is where my online course lives. So I had this really great opportunity in the last year to take that energy and expertise in teaching university kids about my area of expertise, that I could now redirect that into teaching folks about my passion for plants or how to care for plants. And so I've created this online course. It's 12 lessons spread over 5 modules, and it's called Houseplant Essentials, and it's designed for plant newbies. Somebody who has never owned a plant or has maybe owned a few plants, they keep killing them, they don't know how to make them survive, right? So we start actually with an inward turn in who we are as people and how that informs the type of homes that we want to have, the way we want to incorporate plants into our lives, the kind of plant parents that we want to be. And then we turn outward and we learn about different types of plants and different ways to style them and grow them and care for them. And then we go even further, and then we explore in the concluding lessons of that class how to go a little bit further than just our own living room and connect with the larger, wider, broader plant care community. Whether that's in, an online forum or whether that's in a real life forum, a garden group. I personally reached out to my local garden community and I joined a local garden group in my neighborhood, and I've got a little plot of land here a little 4x4 plot inside a community garden where I'm able to interact with other people in my community and our shared love for growing plants together. And that personal experience for me, that opportunity to connect with others in real life, has been so wonderful. And so in creating this course, I thought, wow, we really need to incorporate a way to not just think about ourselves and our plants, but the way that that relationship can be a part of and also enrich our broader community. So like I said, as an online community inside my app, whether that's a local community or garden group, whether that's being a part of conservation organizations who are funding research or the preservation of endangered tropical plants on the other side of the world. However it is that you feel moved to participate in this broader community, I think it's important to at least offer an overview on how to get started or how to participate or even know about what might be out there. And so that's sort of how we conclude that. So I'm really excited to launch that. We've created a series of workbooks with it. It's kind of a fun thing, and I hope folks check it out. We've got coaching. I do coaching on my platform as well. We do a few other little things, but really I'm most excited right now about that. I launched an online plant shop, so it's if you go to pistilsandpollen.com, you can check out the plants that we use. I work with a greenhouse in Florida. They've got a greenhouse in California. I sort of curate the collection on my website, and when you order it, it's sort of shipped right from those greenhouses. I've got a merch collection also on my website. So it's kind of a fun collaboration. Working with a designer, and we create sort of these botanically inspired prints, think really fun sort of tropical colors, but we apply them to botanical prints. So think calatheas and bird of paradise, if you will. And then we apply those to things like totes and workout apparel, even gym shoes and canvas sneakers. So we'll see in a year's time, 2 years' time, if any of these are around and if they're able to help offset some of the costs that it takes to create this content to feed this passion. My hope is that I can keep doing this because I really love it, and I love the privilege and the opportunity to connect with you and to so many other folks all around the world who share this love and this joy, even if it's emergent, this love and this emerging joy for plants and plant care. So the plants that I love most around the house are the low maintenance plants. And I hate to say it because sometimes they're the most ordinary plants, right? You see them everywhere. But what I've noticed is that some of those plants, even though they're sort of ordinary houseplants or they're sort of not very unusual or very common, I mean, you've seen them somewhere else. People are like, oh, where'd you get this plant? Where does it come from? And I'm like, oh, well, it's called this, and you could get it pretty much anywhere. And they're like, wait, what? I've never seen one. I'm like, well, yeah, probably because you've never seen one grow so big and so happy. I was just talking with somebody today about my bird's nest fern. The bird's nest fern in my living room is probably, what, 3 feet tall by 3 feet wide. It's huge, it's massive. You don't typically see them that big inside a normal house. That's its natural inclination. That's what it wants to grow up and become, if it's given the right conditions and the right circumstances to not just survive inside your home, but to also thrive. And so my bird's nest fern is, I mean, it's a super common plant. If you go to the tropics, it grows on the walls. I was in Puerto Rico, you know, walking around, walking dinner. Oh, there's a bird's nest fern growing out of the crack on that wall. Yeah, it's just that, there it is. Like, I can go to my local big box store and there's a row of bird's nest ferns for like, you know, I don't know, $10.99, like, not very expensive. If you can keep it alive and allow it to grow and flourish, it can do amazing and surprising things. And so some of my favorite plants are very often those plants that we've seen growing in an office, but they're doing something new and cool and unusual. They're thriving, they're not just surviving. I've got some of the plants behind me here. When a pothos climbs and it fenestrates for the first time, that's such a cool thing. You don't see that in an office environment, but that's what that same plant in that environment is wired to do. It's wired to become that fenestrated lobe, right? It wants it, but it's not given that opportunity. When I see a plant reach its full potential, that is such a beautiful thing. And I don't know, maybe that's what I think all of us deep down are secretly, or maybe not so secretly, trying to do. We're trying to become the best versions of ourselves in this world. We want to be the best we can be, whether it's be the best dad we can be, the best mom we could be, the best sister we can be, the best teacher, the best mentor, the best plant parent. We want to do the best we can do as human beings. And I think that there can be joy in that if we don't allow ourselves to be consumed by an obsession over that sort of wish or goal, and just lean into being and accepting who we are and those inner inclinations about what we want to be in the world. And to see our plants do that, I think can serve and act as inspiration to ourselves.